Well then, let us depart.
Lord Luis, your pardon. We've encountered an unexpected snag. I killed the prince in the Elden village. I confirmed his death, yet it appears the boy candidate has merged with his corpse. It seems the prince is now resurrected.
Resurrected?
Yes, and what's more, the boy candidate was the actual prince after all. Something about his soul having traveled independently, and then returning to his corporeal body.
I see. So his ideal form was spun from Magla. Whatever the case, this means the land's true prince has reawakened in his sanctum. How interesting. After these long years, my chase may finally come to an end. My nemesis awaits.
Lord Luis, what is it about that bastard that fascinates you? Yeah, I won't let it end like this. I have to do better. I need more power. I will show Lord Luis I am worthy of his gaze.
Oh, he's in love with
We'll soon be
Louise.
arriving above the royal capital.
Excellent. As planned, increase altitude and enter the royal palace in the sky.
Are you certain? We'll be heading directly to His Majesty, the former king, and...
Rest assured, that old fool is powerless to stop me now. Proceed.
Understood.
What are
Let the
you
final
getting at,
banquet
Louise?
begin.
Come on, any takers? Any bets for the other candidates? Remember, if Luis loses, a silver coin could turn into mountains of Reeve.
What are you trying to say? You think Count Luis is going to lose?
Oh no, of course not. I'm just saying.
I'll call that bet. All in on His Highness the Prince.
A Sanctus bigwig gambling away his tithes? This really is the end of the world. Didn't know his esteemed princeliness had any supporters left.
I mean, he's not really the prince, is he? Was actually a monster in disguise all along. Haven't you heard the news? The times we live in, I tell you.
Must be tough, being an easy mark. It didn't take much for you to buy everything Luis was selling about the prince. The
True.
fireworks went off the moment he said, "Behold." Remember? You don't think there's any chance Luis orchestrated the entire thing?
Oi, churchman. You saying Count Luis lied to us? You think he cast some big illusion?
An illusion, eh? What if I said it's a power more dangerous than that? Always struck me as odd. We all know Luis, the mighty human slayer, but how does he keep finding the things one after another? Seems a bit convenient, if you ask me. Like he knows in advance where these monsters will appear to cause havoc.
Easy to nitpick and gripe about him, isn't it, churchman? Maybe someone needs to shut you up.
All right. Let's keep things civil, eh? No sense becoming a monster yourself.
Ah,
Oi! What's all
Batlin.
this fuss about? Damn it! When Count Luis is king, you'll all be the first at the gallows. You'll die just like Forden.
Well, they're probably just as anxious as the rest of us. All that yelling and thrashing helps fight it off. Humans have been sighted near the capital, after all.
It's more than that. Pockets of society have resented the upper class for ages now, but this might be the spark that lights the kindling. Luis's respect for power is certainly cruel, but it's fair to an extent. Those of us pushing the status quo have always struggled to understand the appeal.
Even then, everyone's on edge. They'll jump at any excuse to argue and snarl at each other. Never seen it this bad. Not normal, I say.
Blind fanaticism and doom go hand in hand. If we don't find some common ground soon, it'll collapse beneath us. Luis Luis left saying that he'd be waiting at the royal capital. Only one place he could be. All eyes are on his Skyrunner as it rises to the flying palace. What are we about to see?
The end? Duh.
Ah, the royal palace. It's been a while. Do you hear me, O king? Stubborn and deathless? This country is distorted. You and the other titled authorities decide who grows fat and who is devoured. The country knows no war only because our very core is built upon a system of societal predator and prey. It cannot be defied from within. That is peace, but not order. Hand over the royal scepter. The game is over. The country needs change, and I will provide it.
Thou impertinent faith breaker, hast thou no shame in preempting the day of judgment?
Do you presume yourself a god? Is that why you wrought your face in stone and took it to the heavens? You're nothing. Just an ordinary, broken old man.
How wouldst thou wield the king's magic? To what end?
To purify all that your kind have left to rot. You threw away your ideals, but I will never make that mistake.
Only the people's chosen may take the throne. The royal scepter and its resting place remain beyond you.
This royal scepter, the royal magic. Did you think that only generations of kings were aware of their secrets? Why someone can manipulate world-changing power by use of only a single scepter? Why only those supported by the people can use it? Listen well, O king. The truth behind the royal magic. Huh. So it's true. The country truly is putrid with sin.
What's the truth?
In other words, if I took hold of it now, then I would have the power to change the world itself.
How didst thou learn of this?
How?
Thou wert elder.
You were not always blind to this country's rot. When you visited our sanctum, I saw and knew the passion in your heart. And yet, what happened to our village? What happened to this country?
He said they were fake?
You cannot stop me any longer. Nor can anyone else. Save one lone possibility.
Scalby.
What the hell's wrong with the sky?
Isn't that... Oi! That monster boy's come back! Ah, that's why the sky's grown so hellish. The half-dead bastard returns with his head held high.
A more aggressive welcome than I expected. Would any introductions help them to understand?
It's useless. Words are cheap. Still, we should walk with pride instead of trying to keep our heads down.
True enough.
True that,
Royal
Holmes.
Highness, the Prince returns! Luis distorted his form through strange and terrible magics, but the curse is now dispelled. His true form has been restored.
Oi, if that's really His Highness, then tell us why in His Majesty in the sky stop all this bloodshed?
Cause he's an imposter! Just like Count Louis said! You'll not fool us again, beast!
Oi, calm down. At least listen. And you! Never thought I'd see one of the Magnus brothers standing against Count Luis, even the thick one. He took in a Paripus like you, and you spit on him. Scum! Only thing traitors deserve is a tight rope and a stiff bean.
Bro.
And you want us to support the prince?
Lady Judah, I can't believe this. I admired you.
Why would you risk dying alongside some fake prince?
I don't intend on dying with anyone. Besides, I'm still me, whoever I'm standing with.
Hey, you chief! Weren't you the wretch who got kicked out of the knighthood? Now you're with this pack of throne chasers. Shame. Shame! Mustari girl! You ungrateful pagan! Count Luis brought down the Sanctus Church for you! How dare you strike out at him? They're all traitors, I say!
What is all this? The truth of the prince hardly matters to them. Every one of them's only concerned with their own emotions, and nothing else.
We'll have your heads on pike soon enough. Leave! Get out of our royal capital!
If they're just monsters, we can deal with them ourselves. How about it?
I'll kill you all right now.
This is bad. They really are out for our blood. Has everyone gone insane?
Oi! Over here! Don't bother with them! No talking this one out. You need to run. Now!
We weren't away from the city that long. What happened? Why are all the people so bloodthirsty now?
The prince turning into a monster before their eyes still lingers in their minds. After all, a monster entered into their society disguised as a person.
No, that's not...
I know, it's not true. But truth and how it appears to the citizens are different beasts. Moreover, humans have been sighted closer than ever before. The royal capital's populace is unused to danger, so they've become suspicious of each other. How fares your neighbor? Do you run in circles with monsters in disguise? Are questions on the tip of every tongue. Ever since Forden's death, Luis has everyone on a knife edge. He's erratic, and nobody knows how he'll react to those who defy him if push comes to shove.
So, at the core of it, people are scared witless, and they cling to Luis as a savior, rather than the devil he is.
You well know that Luis cares not one whit about social status, especially as a token of birthright. No amount of wealth or standing can buy his protection. So even those who may have opposed him at first now counsel that condemning him would be imprudent, as it puts their safety at risk.
Then
True,
we're
though.
stuffed. He won't save anyone. And oh yeah, he can create humans, by the way.
Oh, that's all true then. I have my suspicions, but it's still a bit of a jolt. This all said, in my humble opinion, what we're seeing in the people now has been in the works for some time. Now, has the tournament for the throne truly ever been a fair contest? The Sanctus Church bent it to its whim, and I abetted that. To my shame. Before I met you people, I didn't have much to me but anger and quips. I'd rant and snipe and have my cynical little discourse, but I'd only looked to others for change. Now maybe that outlook's our real enemy. Blind fanaticism, like I had. Even if there's no malice to it, it's a dangerous thing. Hard to think clear when your mind's a muddy stream.
We've been told Magla is born from people's anxiety. Perhaps the proof is now before our eyes.
Kind of ironic. But we have to do something about it. If we don't, they'll never listen. We'll only ever be seen as an enemy.
I had the inn prepared. They won't let anyone in but you lot. Let's head there for now, shall we?
Hello, friends.
Everyone, I'm glad you made it back in one piece. Since you left, Luisa's following has only grown.
Have you changed? You're still the same person, aren't you?
'Tis quite a story, but it deserves explaining. I only hope you can believe us.
Anyways, I'm the prince.
Alright, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. I had thought all this business with declaring yourself the prince was a well-meaning bluff. But under the deception, you were, in fact, the actual prince. Is that right? Still, I mean, How do you get the whole country to believe your story? Is that even possible?
Frankly, I doubt it. We've just seen firsthand how far we'll get trying to talk the people down.
Then what will you do? If this goes on...
But you're still you, yes?
Yes.
You came to help everyone, just like you helped me before, right?
Yes, that's right. It'll all turn out fine.
Good.
I see. So, even if no one believes you, you're still determined to settle the score with Luis head on?
Even
Correct.
so, the gulf between us is wider than ever. The people have all but named him their champion. With so little time, a guileless appeal to the public may fall on deaf ears.
Hard luck for the honest knight. Not much room left for civil debate now that Luis is openly advocating killing his opposition. Well, that ship sailed when the king's magic faded. Anyway, if there is a key to turning the tide, first place I'd look is the castle in the sky. You saw how violent and volatile the city folk are now, but I don't think it's as simple as fearing Luis. I've been keeping an eye on the royal capital while you were off on your jaunt through the woods. Frankly, the change in public sentiment was too sudden, unnatural. It's as if they've been collectively drained of their sanity, and if I had to guess what's causing it...
You're implying it's Luis's doing? All the eeriness in the sky? Is that because...
Don't know, but the change in the citizens is certainly odd. If something really is forcing it, that means we might still have a chance to fix it.
What Luis is doing in the royal palace, whether or not he truly desires a world overrun by humans, we don't know his mind until we confront him.
On the other hand, it may well be bait for a trap.
Trap or not, we have no other choice.
Then it's settled. Head to the royal palace and put a stop to whatever Luis is cooking up. With that Skyrunner, you're the only ones who can. And we'll fight in the ways we can too. We'll make sure the whole kingdom hears that the real prince is back, after all the strife he's been through.
Indeed. If you can make things better, you might just inspire everyone to remember their own hopes and dreams. Maria's been terribly patient, waiting for you and believing in you. It'd be nice to see her smile again.
She's right there. If Luis is behind all these disturbances, then stopping him will only help us in the approval ratings. If we can restore civility to the rational thoughts, it'll pave the way to defeating Luis. We must press on with a faith
I'll always
in
believe
that.
in you. We'll all do our best, so you can be a good king.
Indeed. If we win, I suppose you really will be king.
We're counting on you, O king.
Of course.
Tis too late today for a grand charge, I fear. Let us take a night's rest, and on the morrow, we make for the castle.
To all the people who dwell in this land,
What up, King?
soon naught but 1 month will remain. On the dawn of the day of the hero, the one who has inspired the greatest faith of
It's
them
literally
all
just
shall
Luis's head.
inherit the kingdom. I bid thee forget not these words.
It's gonna be me. So I got 30 days
Wasn't expecting to
to
wake up to such a spectacle,
prepare.
but I suppose that confirms it. This is where it ends.
Luis has already fortified himself behind the palace walls. Good thing we've got a Skyrunner, or it'd already be over for us.
Or perhaps it is us he has been waiting for all this time.
However disturbing the world looks now, 'tis only a prelude to the deadland Luis strives for.
Sky looks proper hellish already. And with all the humans out there, it's no wonder everyone's losing their grip.
Well, he wanted a fair world where strength decides everything. Funny how that's indistinguishable from absolute chaos.
But it's
You're
Luis
telling
who has
me.
the most support right now. And that wasn't born of deception. He broke the nation's order, and everyone knows it.
Sure enough.
That's what got Ardell and I dreaming to begin with. Figured a world where the poor and weak get trampled on was a world worth breaking. Come to think of it, what do we all stand for, really?
Hope.
Hope.
A little broad, don't you think?
I don't really know what everyone's talking about, but everyone who's seen you and your friends say you're amazing. You make them really, really happy. Because, you know, you've got all the tribes in your team. Everyone's different, but you keep working together and doing great. You're so cool.
A fair point. You're quite right, Maria. It is a hard thing to word, so forgive my fumbling. But perhaps it is a matter of standing for something Luis does not believe exists. We must prove that it does.
If you keep on believing in what you want, and you keep on working hard for it, it will come true.
Yes, it will.
That's right, love. I can think of plenty of people who would be much happier if they took a page from your book.
I see now. This is surely the essence of true
I believe
magic.
instead of saying hope,
luck, Your
we
Highness.
stand for
After all
unity.
those speeches about taking the throne, it'll be awfully irresponsible to go dying on us now.
If Luis claims victory, everyone will be sacrificed in his wake. We have to prevent that from happening. Whatever Luis is doing in the royal palace has to be stopped as soon as possible, and it's up to us to do it.
Great, thank you.
Well, we'd best keep an eye on the calendar. The king's deadline was the dawn of the day of the hero, so we've got until the day before. And that won't be the end of things either. Even if people come to their senses, it would amount to nothing if Luis sits upon the throne. Personally, I think we should prioritize our main objective here. I'm sure we get it done, but we have to make sure we have at least one day to spare before the day of the hero.
We've got a few days left, so it's up to you how we spend them. When we set off, let's do it with no regrets.
Of course.
Honestly, I was thinking about closing up shop for good, but I see we have one last item of business for today.
What's that?
You didn't notice? 2 children have been following you. They have igniters. I imagine they're here for me.
Brigitte!
You two. I saw you at the village.
So you remember us? What a shame, right? I'll bet you didn't think you left any survivors, right? Everyone we know is dead! You killed them!
I see. So, you're here for revenge. Is that it?
You've got it wrong. The church was the one that did this to you.
What are you talking about? The Sanctus told me all about it. They said you set the whole village on fire. That's why they gave me this igniter. They said killing isn't wrong when you're punishing the wicked.
I see.
Okay.
You. My apologies. But I'd appreciate if you didn't interfere. No matter what happens.
Okay.
Understood.
This is your first time killing someone, I take it. I hate to break it to you, but you should have finished the job without saying anything. You realize you just gave yourself away. Now I might dodge. That's a chance at survival I didn't have before. Might easily be enough to turn the tables and kill you. And what's the exit plan after you've done the deed? How do you get out of the city before they find my corpse? Or did the Sanctus forget to mention these details? The church thought they'd use you to kill me. That? Or they were hoping I'd kill you?
No! You're lying!
If you don't have it in you, then I suggest you save your revenge.
You're not fooling us!
It's a painful thing, to live your whole life running away, carrying your sins on your back. If you ask me, it might even be harder than killing someone. You'll watch me die again whenever you close your eyes. You'll smell my blood, hear the rasp of my final breaths, see my eyes cloud. Again and again and again. That's what lies down this road. It's a dark path to walk, alone, with the weight of your despair. Your heart won't let you trust again, nor will it let anyone save you. But you still have time to turn back.
There's nowhere left for us to go.
I've prepared living spaces at my research facility. They're meant to give people like you a safe home.
What? What are you talking about? You think we trust you?
I know how easy it is to lose all your peace and hope in an instant. And now that you've seen that firsthand, I can't fault you for doubting me. But just once, just one more time, I want you to think of your future and get the help you need. It's a hard thing to crawl up out of hell, but the first step is having the courage to believe.
True.
But if I lived in your place, you'd just kill me!
If I wanted to kill you, I'd have done it already. I'm not saying you have to trust me right away. Believe me, I have a hard enough time trusting people myself. But isn't this what you two really want? To believe in people, and believe in your own happiness. Thank you. I'll show you the way to the research facility now. That took incredible bravery, you two. I can already tell you have a better life than mine ahead of you. A more peaceful and gentle future, greater than anything we could imagine, is about to dawn.
Mm-hmm.
The two of them fell asleep as soon as they found their room. Must have been the first sleep they'd had in days. Can't imagine how nervous they must have been. We have to protect them. We can't let this place be destroyed. Suppose that means I can't afford to close down the shop just yet. I'll keep selling igniters for now. But I'll only stock models with limiters, meant to dampen their destructive force. And I'll offer a bargain for the people to trade in non-limited igniters towards buying my wares. Against the Church's campaign, it'll barely make a difference. But it'll buy some time until you take the throne, right?
That's smart.
That's smart. But I expected no less.
Well, once your heart's set on something, your brain tends to follow suit. It's a small gesture, at best. A pretense at change. But it's enough. As long as it can give those children a little hope. I trust you to brighten our world. Give it the surge of hope it needs. Take the throne, and lead us forward.
Leave it to me. And that's what I intend to do, after all.
Carefree as ever. But it's somehow still encouraging. I was always afraid of telling the truth. I built igniters into a shell around my life. On the inside, I figured I had nothing. I was nothing. Just a hollow parody of a person. But even knowing how weak I really am, you refused to abandon me. Thanks to you, I've come to know hope again. So I'll believe in that hope, and try to live my life to the fullest. That's my decision, and I'll stick by it. Thank you, young man, for giving me the courage to live again.
Oh, you're welcome. Oops.
A traitor and iconoclast, Brigitte. Keeper and heritor of the merchant's virtues. Your tempered bond has become a fire-forged trust. Thus, a new pinnacle of heroism awakens within thee. By the grace of her newfound powers, work to give truth to our hopes and fulfill thy destiny.
Let's
Thank you.
go!
Helping me embrace my weakness. No doubt there are countless people out there suffering, enduring unimaginable pains at this very moment. But you can show them that their world is not a living hell. Not when you have your own vision for it. I'll be waiting for the day it comes true.
Gastro's been acting as a proxy since the giant sandworms made the governorship one big open question. Everyone's gathered here today to learn what's what, and probably to sentence me to exile.
Nah, that's not gonna happen.
Are you just going to accept that man being governor?
The mood in the town's been better recently. Much better than during my time.
I asked you all to gather here so I could speak about Martira's governance. While Barden was recuperating, I was glad to act as his proxy. However, henceforth, I would like Barden to resume his duties as governor.
What's this?
This town's autonomy was initiated by your sheer pluck. At the time, I cooperated only so I could use you for my own ends. But I had a revelation in those moments as the giant sandworm approached. I saw that I cannot even protect myself, much less the people. When you returned here exhausted and in tatters, I regretted everything from the bottom of my heart. My actions are unpardonable.
Sir Gastro, but if I go back to governing, it's...
Have no fear. You can do it.
Right. I'm just not sure where to start. Except to begin with an apology. My excessive measures frightened you all. And I implemented them because of my own insecurity. I was anxious about whether or not I could keep you safe. So I turned to surveillance and barriers. No more. We'll keep some of our armed forces, but what I really need for security is to have faith in you all. That's why I am not fit to govern.
Things will be different now.
He's right. We've changed. From now on, we won't push all the power and responsibility onto just one person. Barden, listen!
Good.
I followed your example and built a defensive barrier myself.
I did too. And I had an idea. We could turn uninhabited houses into shelters.
Things didn't go
That's
well
pretty
before,
smart.
That's true. But you're not the only one at fault, Barden. This is just as much our town as yours.
Oh, laddies and lassies.
You see? After two disasters, everyone has a more mature view of things. You're free to decline. But is that really what you want to do?
Well, now I must apologize. If it truly is what everyone wants, I'll be the governor of Martira again. This time, I won't do anything to scare the populace. We'll have faith in each other and the town's unity will be known far and wide. And for our first step, I have the perfect suggestion. Step forward, young man. The reason I stand here now is thanks to this fella. He is the hero who saved this town. The one most worthy of the crown. I want us to support him as the future king.
Yes.
Come to think of it, I never told you the truth behind that bit of arson. It was this little poor weon who started it. He didn't mean to, but he touched an igniter some fool had left behind. I only know this because just the other day he came to me begging for forgiveness, all in tears. If I'd known from the start, I would have just thought it a lone accident. Instead, I acted like invaders had infiltrated us. Got my people all terrified.
It's already in the past.
You say that, but I can't forget it. Ever. Henceforth, I'll be changing my ways. Let's focus on the future now. This region, in fact the whole country, depends on it. Mind if I ask you just one more time? If you think I'm fit to govern?
There's no one more qualified for the job than you, Barton.
And you truly believe that?
Of course I do.
Then I must devote myself to the work even more, so as not to disappoint the future king. Thank you greatly for everything you've done. This only happened because I had your support. Even when I made mistakes, you stuck by my side. I'll return the favor one day. I swear it.
No thanks necessary.
The Honorable Guardsman, Barden, keeper and heritor of the Commander's virtues. Your tempered bond has become a fire-forged trust. Thus, a new pinnacle of heroism awakens within thee. By the grace of his newfound powers, work to give truth to our hopes and fulfill thy destiny.
I will.
You're the one who brought light to this town, to this country.
The Warlord.
Today really is such a bonny day. I'm blessed with the greatest of friends. The townspeople love me, despite all my flaws. And everyone is so... Thank you again. I'm just so happy.
Don't mention it.